Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope that whenever and wherever you are on the globe, you are doing okay. The majority of you, I hope that you're bundling up, that you're staying warm. There's already been record-breaking snow across the whole United States. People are already sick of snow. It's not even close to Christmas yet. It's the 3rd of December. And there's already been record-breaking snowfall for the year. Asia, they have gotten snow in several parts of Asia already. In parts of Africa, there have been flooding, and there's been a typhoon. I want to say in Indonesia. I'm sorry, it's in the Philippines. Doing this all by memory. I'm still a little bit sick, so bear with me as I can't remember everything. There's so much information. I wanted to recommend to you guys a YouTube channel called Suspicious Observers. They have a 5 to 7 minute report every morning. They put out about 4:44 a.m. roughly. Pretty interesting stuff. They have like an alert. They have a couple apps they have out so you can understand what's going on if there's earthquake or whatever in your area. But they look at all of the geo stuff, everything. They look at the Schumann Resonance. They look at the volcanic and earthquake activity. They've got an app that can predict when an earthquake is going to strike, which is pretty cool. And they have put out some really interesting things in their reports. It's like so much information packed into such a small amount of time. So I'm not going to be able to even remember it. Their thing from today, I listened to it twice. I'm still like, what? It's like so much information. But apparently, when they've observed with different filters the coronal area of the sun, which is the space around the actual sun itself, like where normally you would see CMEs, flares or whatever breaking off, and you'd see solar winds coming. And plasma coming from the sun, getting ready to hit the earth. There's been like nothing, no activity. The sun, it's like nothing. And there's no, just at the top and the bottom, when you look through the observer, there's like no energy coming from the sun, which is very, very weird. I don't know if you guys have felt that the sun is kind of like taking a break for a few days. I know I did feel that way. But the thing is, when the sun is putting out energy towards us, it's kind of able to block out the cosmic radiation. And what's been happening is the cosmic radiation now has been bombarding us and blasting us. And ever since this morning around 3 a.m., so it's been like almost 20 hours now, we have been bombarded with this cosmic radiation, which can help us feel depressed and strange. It can break down the meiosis of cells. It literally changes your DNA. I'm sorry, mitosis. Meiosis is sexual breakdown of cells when you're creating a baby. I'm sorry, I meant to say meiosis. M-E-I-E-O-U-S, I think, meiosis. Anyway, it can break down your cells. And so you might be feeling like really, really sleepy, really, really tired. Just stay positive, stay awake, be aware that this is happening. And if you have any negative energies or moods coming up, it may not be from you. It might be from the cosmic radiation. Just blame the cosmic rays. Okay, so that insane clip was from Humanoid Opera the green death rays. I don't know if you could make it out because my crappy laptop speakers, and I didn't feel like hooking up my big speakers at this very moment. But if you don't know what humanoid opera is, they're basically aliens on stage playing, well, oboes and violins and flutes and classical instruments from our planet. But I love the humanoid opera. I mean, it would be so amazing to just drop acid and go watch aliens on stage play music. It would be so insane. But they look real. They look absolutely real. Like, they're really not human. They're like actually humanoid from another planet. So it's one of the coolest, I don't know, it's just like their gimmick. But they've been putting out brand new music even. So they have other songs called Paralyzed Genome. All kinds of crazy music. But really, you could blame it on the cosmic rays for real. It's really, it's happening. It's really happening. We are being bombarded, and it's affecting us like all the other stuff affects us, but like thousands of times worse, I guess. So stay positive. Just realize that we're changing and growing in new and unique and strange and different ways that we had no idea this was coming, so there's nothing we could have done to prevent it, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, you could check out other insane, I think that these people might be from Russia, the humanoid opera. Humanoid opera, they have other songs called Reptilian Vision, Prodigy, Take Me to the Hospital, Quake Lullaby, DNA Invasion, Machine Gun. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of like, it's insane, like techno music, but with a lot of classical instruments. And it's worth getting, like, really like hot boxing your room and actually just watching this. It's absolutely hilarious, but it's mesmerizing if nothing else. But so anyway, getting back to what's going on the planet. So that's pretty much it. I mean, so just, pray for the whole world at this point. Things are going crazy. Things are different than, they should be in some places, and like way more snow than we should have gotten in the U.S. And I say we as if I'm still there. Thank God I'm not. Tomorrow, the Southwest will be hit. I should actually tell my brother, because he likes to get a lot of footage of the flash floods that happened in New Mexico. And there's supposed to be a massive rainstorm throughout the Southwest. So, where my mom used to live, there's always like a flash flood that would randomly break out. Her street would be fine. She'd go out, grab her newspaper, go back inside, and 10 minutes later, the street would be like 3 feet of water, like rushing down like massively fast river. And not on her street in front of her house, but on the street to the right of her house, which was a hill going up. And she'd just be like, what the hell just happened? Like, it happened all the time. And my brother just happened to be there visiting her one day and got the footage of it once. It was really awesome because his footage ended up on the news, and it was pretty neat. But yeah, so I don't know. It's the green cosmic rays. Yuck. That's what you could blame it on. When I finished the show yesterday, there was this rolling, crazy looking fog coming in, and it was pink. The lights around here at night are kind of a weird orange, like an amber color. It's like better for the environment somehow, instead of having white lights at night. So it's not bad for the nightlife, like the animals, as much as, like the brighter colors. So if the clouds are going to be a color at all, it's usually that amber glowing, and it's kind of eerie looking. But last night, I kid you not, the fog rolled in and it was pink. and it gave me a chill. It gave me a start. Like, I never get afraid of ghosts or anything, right? That fog creeped me the hell out. I mean, I ran into my room and I was like almost afraid to turn off my light. I don't know why I was afraid of it. It was very, very strange. But I think that the cosmic rays, yuck, they can actually affect you emotionally, mentally, physiologically. It could break down your cognitive functioning. You might feel mentally not altogether there. If it's been happening to you and you felt like a heavy energy where you're just like, what the hell is happening? That's what it is. It's the green cosmic rays. Yuck. But, yeah, so basically, let's see, think what else. Oh, I had some weird news. If you guys have been with me since the beginning, and some of you are newer to the channel and you start to the podcast and you started to go back to the beginning and listen from the beginning. If you listen to January's episodes, then you pretty much remember that my son had been hit by a car while he was on his beachy moto, which is like half bicycle, half motorcycle that he created. I mean, it wasn't his invention. Other people have invented it, but the one that he did, you know, he had a specific motor put on and a specific, just specific parts, you know, a special kind of carburetor. He kind of put it together himself. He figured it all out, and they just put it together as he specified. He put a huge muffler on it. It's like super loud. It goes like 50 miles an hour, and it's a bicycle. It's like I make him wear a motorcycle helmet on his bicycle. And people see him pedaling and they're like, what the hell is this kid? Like, he's like, you know, on a bicycle but wearing a motorcycle helmet. And then all of a sudden it starts up and he's like, and it's like super loud and it hauls ass. And then they're like, oh damn, I want to get one of those, right? It's pretty cool. So and ever since he got his done, 2 people on the same block where we live now have them. So it's like, it's kind of catching on. People are like at first like laughing at him and what is that? That's crazy. And now people are starting to get him. And it's cool because it's like a bicycle. You can still ride around the river, you know, because it's a bicycle. They can't say anything. They can't regulate it. You can't be taxed for owning it. You don't need a license to drive it. It's a bicycle. And so it's, time to turn that off. So it's like, basically, it's like kind of a cool trend that my kid, you know, made slightly more popular. It was already here, of course, but it's just one of those things. And so he was just not going very fast, maybe hardly at all. And a car hit him at 70 kilometers per hour. And he said he's only going like maybe 20 or something. I think I don't even remember the story. Whatever I told you guys is what the reality of it is. I think he stopped for a moment to check something. I don't know. Well, this car hit him and his helmet went flying off and went in one direction. The bike went in another direction and he skidded across the road. And he was knocked out for stunned at least for a couple of minutes. He didn't move. And so the person who hit him thought he was dead. And he was obviously alive. And he looked up and he saw the car and he burned that car into his brain. So he has a memory of it, right? If I ever find that car, they're going to rue the day they did this to me, right? And so since January, he's been, every time he sees a red color car with the same markings and like the paint a little screwed up on one of the doors, you know, he's like looking for this specific car. And you know, he had to go to the hospital a couple times, you know, to get his wounds cleaned. It was like kind of a big deal. He was like really scared and his hip has been messed up ever since, you know, his skeletal frame, you know, he's had problems, you know, he's had pain now that he didn't have before. And he's like, this sucks, you know. And yesterday, he told me this morning, and he's like, I forgot to tell you what happened yesterday. He was downtown in front of like McDonald's, which is, there's like a massive park called Parque de la Madre, and it's across in a planetarium, like observatory, and it's a really cool park, actually, Park of the Mother, and it's across the street from McDonald's. And on one side, and then on the other side, it's across the street from a river, and it's a beautiful natural area. And then, you know, we go there, you know, several times a month. And anyway, he was over there, and he was like walking through the park, and here comes this car that hit him. And right in front of him, he saw this car hit a telephone pole. It jumped the curb, hit a telephone pole. 5 people in the car. The driver's taken away in an ambulance because he snapped his neck. The guy that hit and run my kid is in the hospital, maybe in critical condition, after breaking his own neck. This guy literally deserves to lose his license. He's like a really shit driver. And left my kid for dead, thinking he killed someone and left my kid for dead, and still driving that same car and going all over town with people in the car, and injured like 3 of the people besides himself. And it's like strange though, because I had asked God, I had prayed, you know what, let this guy's karma come, because we can't find him. You know, how could you leave a kid on the road dead? Like, if that's what you think, you know what I mean? Like, who does that? And my son said I wasn't moving. He's like, I was like kind of like woozy and knocked out for a hot second, but I saw the car. I saw the car as it was hitting me. I saw him speed off, you know what I mean? And so that was burned in his memory. And today, that same very same car right in front. I mean, what are the odds? I mean, that happened, and we live in the east part of town, you know, like 20, 30 minutes from the park that this happened yesterday. And I had asked God, like, look, please, like, bring this guy to justice somehow. Let his karma be this year. It's been 10 months since this happened, roughly. And it happened this year. And it just happened. I'm like, you know, let this guy be, you know, brought to justice one way or another. Karma, in jail, like, for what he did. You know what I mean? Like, if he had stopped and made sure my kid was okay and took him for a ride to the hospital, I never would have even asked God to please intervene with this, because this is like, you know, that would have been the decent human thing to do. You know, you hit a human being, you see if they're alive, you see if they're okay, you kind of be decent. Well, this guy's got a broken neck, he's in the hospital now. I mean, he wrapped his car around a telephone pole in front of my son. My son watched it happen. It's like crazy. I mean, and since, you know, this whole year, my son's like, you know, death has been walking with me, you know, like, he has seen death occur around him, and he helps to release spirits. My son is like, he's got my talent for being aware when dead people are needing help and crossing them to the other side. He's becoming a world walker, and death and Goddess Hecate walk with him, you know, and they keep him safe, but he sometimes has to be there when the accidents happen. I'm the person that cleans it up after the people have been dead a while, you know. I mean, I've seen, like, people, like, after they've been shot, I've seen bodies in the street. I've seen bodies that were dumped. I've seen right after shooting happened in LA when I was a kid, you know, like, and I prayed for his soul then, you know, and I didn't know I was a world walker at the time. I wasn't releasing spirits yet. That for me is kind of a new thing. It's like only been about 3 years that I've been able to do this. God told me how to do it. When all the African slaves they had been murdered in Peru came to me, I said, I'll help you guys in any way I can. Let me know. And they followed me. I mean, thousands of people. I felt them pressing on my head. And spirits will press on your head if you are a psychic medium, and if you are meant to release people to the light, if that's your job, if you are a shaman and you are ignoring the calling, the spirits will start pushing on your head, and you get a massive headache, and there's no explanation for it. And I've had headaches my whole life, and they stopped when, you know, a couple things. You know, I went to a chiropractor. I started going to a chiropractor regularly, and I started smoking weed and stopped them. But I don't ever get a headache now unless it's a spirit pushing on my head or I have a cold. Like, you know, if I have a headache, it's like, oh, there's either I've been poisoned or spirits are here pushing on my head and I'm not paying attention, or I'm sick. Those are the only reasons. But But yeah, so here's the rest of the story. If you guys heard that back in January and you were like, man, because some of you have, like I said, have just started listening to the beginning of the year and trying to play catch up. And if you heard that and you were like, I wonder whatever happened with that, here it is. This is what happened. It's crazy. I mean, my son has saw a motorcycle hit a woman, and the motorcyclist died, and the woman was in critical condition and taken away in an ambulance with a thing going woo woo, you know, whatever, you know, the sirens, and the motorcycle guy was not. They didn't turn on the thing for him. He died right away, like upon impact. So like it was like pretty crazy though. I mean, he's witnessed. There's been a lot of motorcycle accidents here. A lot of people have died this year for some weird reason. So I don't know. But I thought that was very strange. I'm like, you know what? This is really freaking weird. I mean, I guess I asked my son, I'm like, did you cast a spell that you would find the guy or that he would get his karma? He said, all I did is I asked Goddess Hecate to protect me from the guy in case he really was like trying to do this on purpose, but also to get him for me. That I know it, you know, like basically so I see it happen, or that at least bring him to me that I can confront him about what he did, you know, and because it's like not right. And here it is. This was the karma, like instant, and it's like, wow, that was like a lot worse, or is it the same? I don't know. Sometimes I think your karma, if you did something really bad, I think that your karma is worse. But then it makes me think, if he's that so much of a shit driver, what else has he done that we don't even know about? In the last 10 months, what has he done with that car? You know? But he broke his own neck and hurt 3 of his friends. I mean, maybe he's just a drug addict. I don't know. It's crazy. So anyway, you know, prayers for him, I guess. But he did already get his karma. So we were like, whew, well, that one's been released. It's been released. You know, I forgave him. Now he's got his karma. He paid his dues, baby. That was it. Now I want to talk to you guys. I've talked to you about this before, about forgiveness. I think that a lot of this stuff that's been coming up for us in the past month, especially in the past like week, all the emotional stuff has been really like cathartic. Instead of just, I told you to let it go. And now I'm thinking that might not have been the best advice, because some people think that to mean let it go, meaning stop thinking about it. And that's not really true. You need to feel the feeling of it. If you did not deal with this feeling in the past, it's going to keep coming back until you feel that emotion. You have to express it. You've got to cry. You've got to shout. You've got to scream. You've got to rage just for a couple seconds to release the energy of it. You've got to cry it out. You got to punch a pillow, scream at the ocean, scream in your car, whatever. Punch a punching bag, whatever it takes, you know, to get out whatever that emotion is. You know, you can say it out loud. You don't have to have a witness. I mean, you're going to have spirits around you, but they're not going to tell anyone, you know. But if you want to say it out loud, if you want to shout it, you know, by yourself, something to get rid of it, and then choose consciously to release it after you have felt that emotion, right? So don't just go, why choose to let this go? Oh, that's sorrow. I'm still not going to feel it. Oh, Becky, I decided just to, you know, let it go. No. If you haven't dealt with the emotion by feeling it, when it comes to emotions, especially old crap from the past, there is no around it, under it, or over it, baby. It's only through it. You got to walk through the fire to get purified. You know, so you have to do it. You got to just feel it. Be brave. Stand up to it. Someone hurt you when you were a kid, cry about it. Get angry about it. And then let it go, right? You don't just go, well, I choose to let that go now. Well, I'm better now. Oops, I have cancer. Sorry, honey, that's resentment coming back in the form of a disease that tells you have resentment, right? So it's like, I know that it's easier just to say, well, I'm spiritual now, so I let everything go. That's not how it works. And I myself have been guilty of it too. You know, like, yeah, I forgive everyone that hurt me, but sometimes you haven't really dealt with the sorrow of having lost the things you lost. You know, like pets that were taken away from you by your mean parents, or, you know, your friends calling you names in front of the whole school and then leaving, or whatever it is, you know, and maybe your first boyfriend cheating on you and leaving you in the middle of the night, or what, you know, like everyone has something. And those things aren't necessarily mine. I think one of those out of those three was actually mine. And, well, the boyfriend, not exactly, didn't leave in the middle of the night, but it was way worse than that. But I don't want to dwell on it. But I forgave him, and I've, I even did a background check on myself, and his name came up in conjunction with mine. And it's like, dude, I haven't seen this guy in 25 years. How are you going to do a background check? And I'm like somehow involved with him still. It's been 25 years since I've seen this guy. More, actually. It's been more than that. And literally, it's been 28 years, I think, since I saw this dude. But I saw his background too, because it was tied with mine. And I'm like, whoa, looks like he did marry the woman he left me for, and then divorced her right away after, and then moved across country and married somebody else. And where he's living now, he's constantly getting stopped by the police, and he has a massive police record from traffic police, because he's afraid. He hates traffic cops. So it tells me that as a human being, he did not grow in a couple different ways. You know, he's still, you know, breaking people's hearts probably, and he's still terrified of the cops. So I try to teach him that in the beginning. Like, if you put a different energy out there, they're not going to come and harass you. And before I met him, he was being I was 18 years old. Like, when I met him, he was my first boyfriend when I was an adult, and he's still being harassed by the police. It's like, what? I don't know if that's a karmic thing, or, you know, just let it go and see cops as human beings and send out love and light, and then drive normal, like, not like a maniac. He used to pay all of his tickets in pennies, wrapped like in brown paper bags, with a crumpled up ticket in the bag. I mean, he's such a petty person, and it looks like he still is. So I don't know, more power to him, whatever. I hope he, you know, but I forgave him, you know, but you know, he was like, I think he might've been a spiritual narcissist, because he's always talking about spiritual stuff, but then he hasn't like actually implemented the lessons because he doesn't think he has to. So, and that's the other thing too. When we feel like, oh, we don't need to learn that lesson, we know it intellectually, that's enough. You know, the lesson will keep coming back again and again and again until you do learn it. You know, and I've had things come back again and again and again, and I thought, oh, well, intellectually understood what I did, and I'm sorry, God, and I forgive myself, but the karma still has to come. You know, and since we're like in the process, and we're here now in the fifth dimension, but we were in the process of actually trying to get through the stuff that we didn't get through is still going to come back and haunt us until we get through it. And the lessons come faster and faster and faster now, and it's all coming to a head. And sometimes, if you haven't cleared your karma from other lifetimes, that is still coming as well. So you have to forgive yourself, forgive others, but also feel the feelings. Go through it to let go of it. Don't go through it, or don't ignore it and go, oh, let that go. Stuff that down. Why do I have acne now? Why is my house covered in this kind of bug? Go back to the insect one I did about insect messengers, I think. I can't remember what I even called it now, but I did a whole episode on why are creepy crawlies in your life. I think it might have been creepy crawlies. Like, why are things in your life suddenly showing up? I got really mad, and I said some angry words, and I asked God to send a message to somebody who kicked me out after my suicide attempt. So I became homeless immediately after that. And I was just asking God to help me with this. Because, you know, like, I didn't try to kill myself to hurt anybody else. I did it because I was told I was dying, and I didn't want to go out like that. And I got out to the front in front of the house, and the person who was kicking me out, her house was covered in bugs that were black and red, color of Satan. I'm like, whoa, thanks God. It was just like a sign. It was like a sign that my words have power. It was the second sign that, maybe she was in the wrong. She was asking us to clean up the bugs. I go, I'm sorry, I don't live here anymore. I'm out. At this shite, I'm out. Like, sorry, not sorry. Like Bubble on Absolutely Fabulous. So sorry. Like, sorry, it's not going to happen. It's, whatever. Bye. It was one of those see you wouldn't want to be you moments. But also I was kind of humble that God, actually helped me in that situation. It's like they were completely acting like I hadn't been sick at all. And it was like, dude, I've been sick for calling out, reaching out for help for months. And I was at my end of my rope. I was told I was dying. And they said it was going to be slow and painful. And I'm like, well, hell, I'm not going to go out like that. But, I don't know, it's just crazy. But, there's been a few times in my life where I saw karmic justice come to a head. But to be and hear about it, right? But to be a witness to it, I mean, I didn't. That was my son literally saw this guy get into the accident. He's like, oh shit, there's the car that hit me. Wow. Just wow. And my son knows his words have power, and he knows that when he asks God for a favor, or he asks one of hey Hikati, do me a favor, let me put me in the path of that car again so I could see what this guy, if there's karma coming his way, I want to see it, I want to know that something was done about that, and that was what was done right in front of it. Crazy stuff, right? He just came home and he's like, whoa. He knows he doesn't have to talk to the guy anymore. It's over. It's over. Now it's just pray for them that he lives and learns his lesson and never drives again and maybe gets a BC moto. All right, guys. Schumann Resonance has been just lame. Heartmath.org. Sorry, doesn't work. It doesn't work today. Data not available. Disclosurenews.it. Total calm. The only wriggle reached power 13 at 7 UTC. So that was it. Just nothing. So it's like the Schumann Resonance is doing nothing. The sun itself is doing nothing. And yet we're being bombarded by cosmic rays. Yuck, yuck. So that's it. That's crazy, right? All right. In A Course in Miracles, we are on lesson 175. And it says, God is but love, and therefore so am I. God is but love, and therefore so am I. All right, taken from lesson 159, the first thought of the day. I give the miracles I have received. I give the miracles I have received. Okay, and again, God is but love, and therefore so am I. And the second thought of the day, taken from lesson 160. Again, this is the review. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. And then again, the thought running throughout this review. God is but love, and therefore so am I. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to do a tarot reading for the collective for the month of December, right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you. All right, guys, so in the first part, I said meiosis, and I said that was wrong. Then I said I meant mitosis, and then I spelled meiosis. Perfect example of what's happening when mitosis occurs, which is a breakdown of the cells. MITOSIS. This keeps happening. I won't get into MIT any day soon. Not that I'm applying, but, well, oh my God, unbelievable. Like it's... I'm just like 5 seconds after I say one thing, I do the opposite. It's like, I don't know. Maybe ADHD is affected by the green cosmic rays also. Anyway, I've already laid the cards out, and I put the phone to my left, just because the way my room is set up. I kind of have to do it this way, but so you guys didn't miss out on the ASMR, even though I've laid out the cards. I'm going to give it to you right now. So I know you guys like to hear this. This is the cards. It's not very good on this table. I'll try to do a little bit away from the phone, maybe. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Again, if you're new to the show, I do the, I only have one tarot deck with me, and it's Das Anden, or otherwise known as the Andes Tarot, the Andean Tarot, and it's artwork done by E. Montes Aliaga, and he is an artist who I believe comes from Cusco. So some of this artwork is super, super trippy. I'm going to try to move the phone here. Let's see if you guys can hear more. Okay. I've already laid the cards out. I do a Celtic Cross spread. 10 different cards. I open my chakras. I clear my aura. I ask God to, Prime Creator, to come through me. And I say Kia Sha so that I could see visuals in my third eye easier. Plua Rasa. I also use that chant to help me align with my higher guidance so that I could give you guys basically the best possible reading. I'm dropping my secondary phone here. I'm going to try to read card meanings from, also from, oh my goodness, my phone. Okay. Should I use Rider Waite? Muscle testing says yes. Okay. So I will be reading from the Rider Waite classic card deck reference as well. So I'll try to do my own interpretation, see where I think it's going as prime creator, and then I'll read what the actual meaning of the card is. So we'll start now. The first card is in Spanish. It says destrucción, destruction. The 10 of Swords. This is where we're at right now. 10 of Swords. It's the cosmic rays. Yuck, right? Like literally, that might be what's happening with the 10 of Swords. And ironically, what I saw in a dream is, I had a dream today, and my son had a similar dream that he was fighting somebody with a sword. Like he had a sword. And I had a dream that I had a sword and a machete and a really massively long, as long as my bed, a sword that was from Japan. It was very, very skinny and very, very long. And at the end had like a side on it. So nothing I've ever seen in actual reality world. But in my dream, I was just protecting my weapons. I was moving to a different city and I had it at the bus station. And I was just going to put him under the bus. Like I was doing nothing. And this guy came up and started screaming I was a terrorist and he stole my Japanese sword. And if you just like move it one way or the other fast, you're going to kill like 5 or 6 people because it's like super fast. And he didn't know how to use it. And I'd been trained on it in Japan because of course that's who I am, right? Like not even at all. I woke up and I'm like, what the hell was that about? Like, yeah, we have a machete, but we open coconuts with it, you know, like, it was so crazy. So, in this is my insane dream, and I had 3 swords with me. I had, like, my machete, which is kind of small, and an actual pirate sword that's 300 years old, and then I have my Japanese sword, because, you know, everyone carries that around. It's, like, freaking 10 feet long. It was insane. Anyway, the guy started screaming I was a terrorist and waving my own sword at me. And I'm like, who's a terrorist here? Like, for real? And my son tackled him, and I got my sword back, and no one got hurt. And I told the police what happened, and they arrested the guy for stealing. I mean, let alone false accusations of something completely insane. But my son had also had a dream that he went to the middle of nowhere, set up his tent, and a guy got in to his tent and threatened him with a knife, and he pulled out a sword. So it's like kind of weird. On the same day, we have this sword. We both had a sword dream. I'm like, what the hell was that? That was insane. And then here I do the collective reading for the whole, and I ask this for everybody, and the first card has 10 swords on it. I mean, in destruction. But I'm looking at this, and I honestly believe this means that cosmic radiation is destroying all the parts of us we no longer need. Everything is in perfect and divine order. Everything is in harmony. And so we have to go through a destructive phase, which is why we've all felt very negative lately. Very, like, so much suicidal, bullying energy. Negative, like, people are, like, bullying us. We feel, like, put down. We feel yuck. Just yuck. Exactly that. And it's just that we are being broken down at the core of our being and physically, even in our DNA, so that we could be built back up and everything will be okay. That's the energy I get. And what's funny is on this card, there's an 11, which means Gemini. Actually, it's a Gemini symbol, which also can refer to the twins, like twin flames, as well as the sun. There's a little icon of the actual sun. And, the sun is doing nothing and allowing the cosmic rays in. So it, like, in reality world, that's what's happening. So we get this, and it's like, I think there's a little bit of a connection. So, but I think that's so we could be rebuilt back up. So, prime creator, is there anything you have to add to that? No, he says no, we're fine. I'm connected, yes. Muscle testing says yes. So according to the Rider Waite deck, it says that the 10 of Swords stands for New beginnings, rebirth, liberation, and silver lining. So I feel like we're at the end of all that negative crap, and now we're being able to build ourselves back up, which says right here, new beginnings and rebirth. And I do feel like that is true. The sword suit does carry a lot of unpleasant connotations, but this one, it says it's not necessarily the end of the world. It's like, beg to differ, but okay. I mean, maybe the card meaning isn't that, though. We are at the end of the world. That's why we're beginning, well, the next world, the seventh generation, the generation of fire, right? The seventh fire. And we're also at the, in the fifth dimension. We letting go of the old world. But this is a clear signal to be careful about where you put your trust as well. So it says in general, when the 10 comes up in relation to a question, if you believe that what a person is telling you or trust the situation is stable, the answer is pretty clear that it's no. But bear in mind that whenever a door closes, another one will open. You are being guided to a situation that's better for you. Trust yourself, trust in the universe. So, God, should I read the one for work or love, finances or health? No. Spirituality? Yes. In spirituality category, should I read all of them for spirituality? Anything else? No. Okay. So spirituality. You may finally let go of a long, deeply held spiritual belief that's been actually standing in your way. Again, you must be careful where you put your trust in terms of spiritual leaders who may seem to have your best interest at heart, who may actually be looking only to line their pockets. You make a break from the past. This is actually a good thing, although it may be somewhat painful. You know, it's funny. If you have 3.5 hours sometime in the next week, go binge watch Nobody's Looking. It's a show from Brazil called Nobody's Looking. It's about not the angels, but the angelus who guide us, but they're severely understaffed, and they're working their butts off to protect all of humanity. And different districts have different people, and there's different things, and it's completely funny. It's hilarious. Just, you could get it dubbed in English, so you don't have to look at subtitles if you don't want. I highly recommend it. It is so spiritual and so hilarious and funny, and it's about angels that find out that God might not be real. They're not really sure. But it looks like nobody's looking, so they could just go do what the hell they want, and they start doing things that humans do. It's hysterical. I love it. Brazil. It's from Brazil. It's a really funny show. Nobody's Looking. Anyway, that card just reminded me of that, so I had to say that. Okay, so what's crossing us? What's crossing that destruction energy is felicidad, happiness. What's crossing that is happiness. So basically, we're being reborn in the middle of that. It looks like happiness in the form of love is coming our way. 9 of Cups. Cups is always meaning love. So, God, you want to talk about this one? Okay. What do you think about this? 9 of Cups comes from not necessarily finding a relationship, but finding a relationship to yourself where you meet divine in your life. 9 refers to the Hermit card as well. So you are finding a love balance inside of you. Each and every one of you are in the process of that, while the destruction of your former false self and false beliefs are falling away, and you're rebuilding and rebirthing yourself. And in the midst of all that, you are learning to love yourself and have a deep divine love connection and a deep love and connection with all of humanity. And at the same time, finding your balance as a person that can stand on your own 2 feet. You're automatically attracting real love into your life. That will sometimes, in some cases, for some of you, become a material love. So you're creating and generating a lot of love right now for yourself, like you are a love machine, baby, literally putting love out into the world. But at this time, many of you are going to find yourselves blossoming new relationships at this time. Old relationships are being rekindled after old junk in those relationships have been stirred up and thrown out. And he's showing me like a dirty pot, stirring up a pot. Say it has water in it, and you're stirring it up to get the gunk that burned on the bottom. You're getting that out, you're throwing that out. That was like an image that just came to me. So that's what we're doing. We're just kind of getting the gunk out, basically. And that's going to renew and regenerate new love for us as well as our connection with divine. So look out for that. What's below us is the 8 of Pentacles. Again, has a sun on it. It says prudence, which means wisdom. Also has a Virgo on it. I love that. Also has a Scorpio sign and a looks like a I don't know. It's a sign of balance. I think it's Pisces, actually. Now, above it, in our higher self, I'm not going to go over this one yet, but the higher self card is also Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, which is opportunity. So God wanted me to mention that this is, because when I was laying the cards out, he was like, well, that's because your wisdom is learning. Your wisdom with money is now leading to opportunities with money. So what's below you is wisdom with money. What's above you is a message of an opportunity because you've used your wisdom wisely, obviously, your intelligence, you've been okay with money. Now you're going to be given money opportunities that you did not have prior. You're saying 3 weeks to 5 weeks. So in the next 3 to 5 weeks, look out for those positive financial flows, money, messages, people coming at you with things that feel solid, that are solid. Just use your prudence still and don't stop. So do I need to read those 2 cards? Should I read for the thing though? Okay. So what's below you, what's below you is the 8 of Pentacles. So we're going to look that one up real quick just so we get an extra vision of that. So what is our foundation right now of our current situation is talent, dedication, apprenticeship, financial caution. The 8 of Pentacles indicates a period of very hard work. This doesn't have to be a negative thing, but you have to be prepared for it. Think about what it is you're working for, which means we've already thought about it, right? We've already prepared. And it can be personal or professional, and be prepared to ask for help if you need it. On a spiritual level, it says, consider the spiritual aspect of life with regard to your working life, whether or not you work at a traditional job, and why are you doing what you're doing? What growth are you creating? You will benefit from actively reading more about spirituality and talking with those who come from the belief systems other than your own, and be open, and you will benefit. So basically, that's our foundation. That's where we've already done all that. Now I'll just go ahead and read the above card because it's all related. God, do you want to add anything to this? Okay. So the opportunity card is the Page of Pentacles. So we're going to look that up and see what that is. Page. Okay, Page of Pentacles. Usually a page is like it's someone who's coming into your life to give you a message. So Page of Pentacles, that stands for being watchful, secure, fascinated, diligent, and loving. Those are the energies surrounding this card. The spirituality of this card is if you're feeling some spiritual malaise, really, like all of us have been for like a month or 5 weeks, now would be a good time to examine what excites you. What do you enjoy? Sex, drugs, rock and roll. What interests you? The same. Of course, the same. What would you like to explore? Make a point to get off the beaten path. Get off beaten. Okay, I'm like a 14-year-old boy here. Make a point to get off the beaten path and try new things. Ooh, baby. Create your own energy and enthusiasm. Find the most upbeat, and spiritually aware person that you know, and talk to them about what makes them tick, and you will learn helpful things. So as far as finances, it does say this points to good old-fashioned hard work, but I feel like you're going to get something really good, like safe investments, safe money. Because you've been wise, you're going to have something safe come your way where you'd be like, wow. And you know, guys, this is absolutely true. I'm blown away by this reading, because in the past 24 hours, I was offered a job that is a very safe way to make money. Very easy, very safe, and extremely, potentially very lucrative. So, and I'll still be able to do this and stay in Ecuador, and everything, inshallah, ojalá, will be resolved as God allows it. You know, and so I feel like this is absolutely true. I've been as wise with my money as I possibly could be. And so my reward is that this is coming, and it is a positive thing. And I feel like if it's not happened for you already, just watch. The next 3 to 5 weeks, God is telling me, just watch, this is coming. During December or even in January, this is coming. And this goes along with all the other stuff that we've been given. So, all right. What is behind us? What we have left behind. Now, this card is absolutely insane. It's like a baby rising up in an upside down egg-shaped bubble. And above the bubble, there's like a stairway to heaven. And this is like nothing like the Judgment card I've seen in the normal Rider Waite deck, so it's hilarious. But there's like a fish dragon thing that's coming over the whole earth. Really true. I'm gonna have to take a picture of this. It has a Pluto, planet of limitation. But remember, this is the time in which, was it Pluto that's going direct, maybe? I think so. So, Pachacuti, justice. Pachacuti is the word in Incan. Some of you are going to like to hear the Incan words. You have connection to the Incan world. I know I do. There's like flames being risen up to heaven and dewdrops falling from heaven in this picture. And it's a man blowing a conch shell to the great divine, which is actually in the original Judgment card. It is Archangel Gabriel who helped us pick out these cards today. He is here with me now. There's a sun and a moon in this, and some dragons. So this is a really trippy card. There's like snow-capped mountains in the background. Seriously, it's like an acid trip. I love it. It's really crazy looking card. All right. So Judgment. So we judged ourselves. We've looked at our life. That's what's behind us, basically. For the most part, in the past 5 or 6 weeks and the past several years, we've taken really true hard looks at ourselves during this ascension phase, and we are finally, I think, able to let go of some stuff. So this is what's been put behind us. God, you want to add to anything? He says no. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at the Major Arcana and see what this says. It is a Major Arcana card. Oh my God, you know why I decided to do this today? God told me to do this today, and I'm like blowing my nose every 5 minutes, and finally I'm not. Now that I'm here, my nose is starting up to itch again. I'm like, oh, hopefully we'll get through this before that every 5 minutes blowing my nose thing happens again. Seriously, it's like for 4 days I've had these fits of sneezing. Usually when you get sick, you have a fit of sneezing the first like hour or two, and then you feel like kind of okay and a little bit weird. You go to bed and you wake up sick, right? And it's like 4 days of the sneezing fit thing. Anyway, hopefully I'll get through it and I'll be fine. All right, Judgment. According to the Rider Waite deck, it says turning point, reformation, rite of passage, and rebirth. Again with the rebirth, so that's what's behind us. You know, we're having a rebirth. We just went through a rebirth, but our first card, where we are at right now, is another kind of a rebirth. So it looks like we're going through two different things, right? So the explanation for this in spirituality category, in the Rider Waite tarot reference, it's an app for free if you want to get it. You can do your own readings on the app. It's pretty cool. There's several apps like that. If you just do, divination or look up tarot Tarot, if you didn't know that. Most of you do. And some of you are brand new to spirituality. So, by the way, I hope you guys never think I'm talking down to you when I explain something or spell something, because I do have people that speak English as a second language. So sometimes I want to explain it or express it in a different way. So I'm not talking down to anybody. I'm trying to make it so that everyone can understand. A lot of you are very well versed in metaphysics, so you have to bear with me while I explain it to the newbies, the noobs. But a lot of people are brand new in their spirituality coming. So that's why I do explain things sometimes simplistically, just so everybody understands and we're all on the same page. All right, so anyway, this card, Judgment in spirituality, says you might find yourself, or may have, we'll put this in past tense because this is behind us for the past 2 weeks, you might have found yourself exploring ideas and spiritual directions that you never thought would appeal to you in the slightest. But furthermore, you might have found more truth and more wisdom there than you ever have dreamed. So hopefully you were open to new ideas and new experiences, and they will have benefited you in ways that you couldn't have began at the time to imagine. And obviously you never know until you try, but you did try, right? So that's what we've all gone through as a collective in the past couple weeks. We've looked into new things. Even if you've had the same kind of spirituality, you've had different insights and obstacles taken away from you, God just told me. So that you can see a clearer picture, and you have been able to clear up some erroneous ideas and beliefs, and that's what the rebirth is that you've had in the last few weeks. So moving right along, we're going to the next card, which is what is in front of us, what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. It says seguro de sí mismo, the safety of the same, or of the the same, kind of. It doesn't really translate, but having a similar security that you've always wanted to have. It is another Pentacles card, so there's 3. It's like a triangle pointing to the right, which is actually a greater than sign, isn't it? It means greater than. If this was math, and you could draw a line between the top and the bottom and then to the right, it's greater than. Our pentacles, our money is becoming greater than it was before. I just saw that. That's weird. That's cool. I'm very untraditional card reader, but so 7 of Pentacles has a Taurus, so we can look forward to luxury. And I think it's if we're prudent and play our cards right, and we go into something that makes sense financially, that's where we're going to be. God, do you want to add anything to that? No. I am connected to God in a way that He and I work together, because I do that dual attention that I've talked to you guys about. So a lot of times things that I come up with from my mind is actually not really from my mind. But we also went over that in the book yesterday, in the book reading, of where you get thoughts from spirits and sometimes from divine, and it's not really 100% yours. And it's hard to discern whether it is yours or from divine. But if the information rings true for you and it's good, then that's all you need. All right, so 7 of Pentacles, according to the tarot reference, is re-evaluation, patience, persistence, and planning. And that goes along with the hard work as well. I feel like things are going to come our way financially that's going to set us in a much better way, but only if we are willing to work and persevere and plan and be patient with it. If you're starting to grow a new business, it's going to take a while to grow it, but you're going to be where you want to be in a few years if you start now and do it now. So there you go. The 7 of Pentacles is it's a card about returns on investments. It can be literally from a bank account returning money to you, or figuratively as an investment of time, effort, and energy that you have put into a relationship even. You'll be reaping what you have sown, and it's a generally positive card. You will feel more secure than you have in a while. Things are moving right along, and you'll feel hopeful about the future with a good cause, because basically you've planned, right? You might have to decide whether or not to put your energy into things and people and situations that you already are involved with, or whether to spend your energy trying to bring more into your life, choose wisely. The person who decided to ask me to be his business partner, he just had some bad news bears in his life, and he got rid of those guys, and I guess I'm his good news bear. I don't know. But we are, we're like taking it slow. We're like, this is what we're going to do. And we're like totally 100% on the same page. We think alike. It's so awesome. It's like we think alike, and yet we have completely different skills and talents from each other that complement each other. And it's like, it's so neat that this is all starting to come together. And I'm like, well, as soon as we're out of the Mercury retro shade in like 3 days, bada boom, bada bing. And he said in about 3-4 days, which we should have the website up and running, everything will be going. And it's something he's been working on for a while. So it's like, yeah, all right, I'll get involved as soon as the Mercury retro shade period is over. I'm excited about it, actually. Okay, so spiritually speaking, it says you will be focused on reality, that life is cyclical. It goes in cycles, and what goes around always, without fail, will come around. I always say that, the wagons circle back around, So if you had a bad breakup and, or you left things unsaid and there was some closure that needed to be had, look for that in the next couple weeks. What goes around comes around, right? Especially if it was revolving around money as well. So the wagons always circle back around, baby. Don't even worry. Remember that when you make a point to be generous with time, energy, or money, that this too is an investment in your own future. So share what you have, accept gratefully what you are given. So also, you'll find ways to give back in the next 2 weeks, right in time for Christmas. The spirit and generosity and kindness and love of Christmas. I feel it is coming, man. I've already started watching Christmas movies. Usually I do that for 1 week. I try to do it for the month before Christmas. As soon as Thanksgiving is done, gone, the next day is when I start watching Christmas movies. And to be honest with you, I started watching them, but this past weekend for sure, just Christmas movies, man, already. Now, where we think we are in this moment, again with the Pentacles, baby, 9 of Pentacles, realization, and when it's coming with money. Venus is a green card. There's a Virgo. Money's gonna be growing. Just like we're growing a garden, it's like we're growing money. And I'm not telling you start a weed farm, especially since it's illegal still in most places federally anyway. There's a dragon, like a double-headed green dragon above this card. This is a really trippy card too. These cards are such a trip. Anyway, the 9 of Pentacles, baby. This is like, again, with the 9, again with, so the love and money intertwined. And then right on here, 69. So 369 is Nikola Tesla's, he has a secret. 369 is a secret to the universe. Use these numbers and you're always going to get wealthy. You're going to get love. You're going to get whatever you want. And here, right on this, there's a very sexual number, 69, but that also refers to Pisces. So being very soft and sensitive to one another. Virgo being very practical. Venus being very much lovely, sensual, and then also realization. So it has all these sexual relationshipy symbols on the card. And then also 9, which is Hermit, divine love, showing the way, being a light worker, being a way shower, being one with the divine and bringing the money, bringing the love, bringing the thing. Okay, so 9 of Pentacles. Is there anything you want to add, God? No. He's adding it automatically. I'm like feeling waves of heat coming over me as I'm talking about this. So, man, my nose is like right on the verge. I know I'm going to have to blow my nose any second. All right, according to the 9 of Pentacles, where we are at, where we see ourselves at right now, baby, good fortune, prosperity, protection, self-mastery. That's what it says on this app for the Rider Waite deck. It's the most uplifting and encouraging omens in all of the whole suit of pentacles. Yay. This can mean that while your financial worries are over for a while and things are, in general, going better than you ever thought possible. Thank you, God. Enjoy the good energy and share your wealth and happiness with others. Again, the spirit of Christmas is coming around. Generosity, it should abound. Spirituality, when this card appears, you are likely to be feeling a great deal of spiritual peace and happiness. It's how we feel about ourselves right now, guys. Your self-esteem is possibly higher than it's ever been, which is a very good thing. And if it's not, you know what, bear with it. It will happen in the next week or two. Here we go. I'm going to pause this, blow my nose down. And I'm back at 3339. Okay, so God is telling me we want to keep in mind that this reading is not for today only. It's for the month of December. So some of you might get this information, energy coming your way like really rapidly, like right now, this week. Some of you, this will come right after the retro shade period is over on the 7th of December. And some of you are getting it around the 12th or the 15th, or maybe towards the end, around the 28th of December. It just depends on your own personal growth cycle and your personal growth state. But all of this is true for all of the collective during the month of December. So if you're not feeling so hot on yourself today, it might be after a retro shade is over. It might be in a week. It might be in 2 or 3. But be rest assured, it is coming. And my asked with muscle testing, higher guidance says absolutely yes. So your self-esteem is probably or possibly higher than it has ever been, which is a very good thing. You are in the position now to mentor others and to share the spiritual insights that you have accumulated. So spread the word and share your happiness. And you know what? A lot of you, after started listening to the show, have started your own podcasts and you have started your own blogs and YouTube channels because you are now feeling stronger, more powerful. And even those of you who are spiritually awakening are now going, you know what? I'm going to turn around. I've gone a little bit up the mountain and I'm going to reach down, grab the hand of the person behind me, and I'm going to help them go up the mountain with me. And we're all going to go together. And this is so beautiful. The generosity and the kindness and the sweetness and the joy and the light. It's coming. The love is coming. And I love that this card has so much reference to divine love, romantic love, sexual love that comes with all the divine and the romantic and also the many. Every wealth and abundance in every possible way possible is coming our way. You know, like, I'm talking in circles because I'm sick. Sorry about that. All right. Now, the next one, though, how other people see us, the people that are unawakened, how they're looking at us. It says the 2-5 of Wands. The 25 of Wands, which doesn't even exist. 2-5. It literally says the 2. It's like they were fighting with themselves when they made this card, and this card stands for fighting. And it has, I think it says Saturn or Sagittarius symbol. I can't even know. Then there's like a blank symbol, like they couldn't think of what to put there. And then there's like what looks like a Leo. It doesn't even really, I don't even know what that is. So fighting, they're probably fighting against us. And I know a lot of people had some really crappy, weird things happen on Thanksgiving and again during the holidays when people are tense and they're not really awake or aware. Sometimes this happens. 31 is an awkward number, and here it says 31 on the card, you know, so, which adds up to 4, which adds up to death, and people are afraid of dying, and they're afraid, and when we start talking to them about ascension during the holidays, people are gonna, it stands to reason that they're not gonna like it. It's actually the 5 of Wands is the name of this card, but they just put 2-5. I need to put it like a marker and cross out the 2 on there. It's insane. And It's like got this really beautiful streak of blue and this horrible red right next to it. And it's like, it is like a fighting energy, the hot and the cold, the yes and the no, the up and the down, and, you know, the way through and the way around, you know. It's like really an insane card, like the way it's looking. So, Lucha, 5 of Wands. So Lucha also can mean fighting and working hard. So it might see the people that might be fighting with us, or might see that we've been fighting and working hard on ourselves, on our spirituality, on our path. We're working hard, fighting through our way, fighting through these emotions and these memories and the bitter elements of our past. And we are fighting through it. And so they might see that we are actually, you know, so that's what God said. All right. Now, 5 of Wands, according to the tarot reference here, competition, brainstorming, male bonding, and sport. So it might not be as bad as what, you know, this person who made cards thinks of this card, or what my interpretation of his interpretation is. So this is why I give you like 4 interpretations in one, right? So the 5 of Wands is often referring to competition in the career or work, or sometimes could be romantic rivals. So maybe there's like 2 or 3 people after the person you are interested in. I don't know. It says, don't be afraid though of competing, because know that you have something to offer, and you can be successful. You have to try, and you will see results. You have to believe in yourself, and your need to believe in yourself is stronger than ever now. So this is how people see you. They see that you need to believe in yourself stronger than ever now. Hold your head up high. Have faith that you will end up in the place that's right for you. So people see you struggling, and they see you working on something, and they're maybe like not quite awake, and they're like, what the hell is happening? But I see you struggling. I see you blossoming and growing. And, you know, when I first looked at you, you're dirt. Now I see you and your plant shooting up out of the ground, and now you got a flower on it. It's kind of cool. I'm just kidding. No one will ever say that about you unless they're high. But you know what I mean. All right. Hold your head up high. Have faith that you will end up in the place that's right for you. You may be thinking of making a career change. Know that you will and can be successful if so. Now, spiritually, how people are looking at you. It's difficult to grow spiritually if you're running around like a chicken with a head cut off. It literally says that on this card. Take time to rest, to do nothing. Create space for yourself to be quiet and hear the music of the spheres. That means your chakras. Your music of your chakras. They actually make sounds. I've never heard that ever. I've got 12 chakras open, but I don't know. What do I know? I can't hear anything over the damn tinnitus. That's what I know. And then the old people hearing that happens when you hit 50, and that's like this wonderful birthday gift where you can't hear anything that's right next to you if there's something outside going on or water running. Like, what the hell is that? What is that about? Also, too many rock concerts, but all right, getting back to this. Create space for yourself to be quiet and hear the music of the spheres. Life is not all about competition, and everyone needs room, and sometimes just to be. So if that's what people are seeing about us, like they're going, okay, you're doing your own thing, and your thing is freaking weird, but okay, you know what? You need your space, you need your time to be, and they're seeing us maybe for being spiritual beings, and you know, so people that are asleep are seeing the awakening ones as it's okay. They're being accepting a little bit more. Life is not about the competition. Everyone needs room sometimes to just be. Give yourself this gift of time and space, and you should see and feel spiritual growth in response. So I feel like people seeing us struggle in this, and we're getting somewhere. God is saying yes. They're seeing us get somewhere. This is from God now, and He's Prime Creator saying, and when they're seeing us get somewhere, they want to get somewhere with us, and we are bringing them along with us, even if they're stubbornly refusing to look at their stuff or spiritually grow or enter into meditation space. They are going along with us. They are learning and growing. They are becoming more decent human beings, even though They're not doing the spiritual work like you are. Don't worry, don't panic, don't judge the sleeping ones. They don't know what they're doing. The sleeping ones are like, damn, baby, I see you're getting somewhere in your life. Wow, what are you doing? You're looking good. What's your secret? And you're like, meditation, being creative, having time and space to myself. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Well, I gotta go now. I'm just kidding. I don't know what people say to you. I don't know what people say. I'm just saying that because it's funny, but it's in a way it's true though. Like, the people are watching you go through this blooming and blossoming and rebirth and regrowth thing that we're all going. Like, we're like a shake. No, we're not like a shake. We're like a snake shedding its skin. I almost said we're like a shake snating our skin. What the hell? Anyway, 2 words that don't even exist. I just brought them into existence. See, we're so creative like that. But we are shedding our skin. We're showing, like we had like maybe a shiny brown or black skin, and now we're every color. We're like a rainbow skin now. Actually, we literally are. Look under a microscope or a, not microscope, dagnabbit. See, there we go, the breakdown of the mitosis and the cosmic rays. Yuck, yuck. The magnifier, just get one. Get an app with the light, go under the sun. You're going to see that your skin is now full of rainbows. It looks like you have rainbow makeup on, and you don't. You get fresh, clean, freshly showered skin, and you're starting to look like a crystal, like with rainbows. Guaranteed, everybody is, even if they're not aware, spiritually, it's happening to everybody. In the next 3 months, we have, for our hopes and fears, dissolution. The 8 of Swords. 8 refers to money. So, God, please explain this one to us, okay? A lot of you that had your money in situations that were not good for you, such as in a business with partners lacking integrity, you're going to part your ways. Sell the business off. Sell the things off of your life that just don't serve you, that are holding you back energetically. Once you are able to cut things that hold you back energetically, you're going to be able to move forward. 3 months for most of you. 4 months for some of you. Because some of this kicks in a month from now, like towards the end of December. So 3 months from there. So by January, February, March, by the end of March, you will be being dissolved with financial things and things that hurt you, where it's people that hurt you. You're going to be able to dissolve all the partnerships and relationships, financially and otherwise, that just did not serve your highest will, your highest good. And this is, trust me, a good thing, he says. 8 of Swords, which now relates to the position we're in now. The position we're going to be in 3 months is where we will have resolved all of it. It's over. So all the stuff that we're going through, the struggles right now, it'll be over in 3 months. Hopes and fears, that's the card. On this card, I think it's a Saturn, planet of limitation, but also balance, Libra, has a 56 on it. And I can't really tell anything else from that. Okay, so I'm going to look it up on Rider Waite and have another opinion there. 8 of Swords stands for transcending your destiny, overcoming your obstacles through hard work, again with the hard work and the release. So the spiritual work we're doing, the financial work we're starting, and the 8 means financial as well. It's all gonna go, all right? So when the 8 of Swords appears, and also, by the way, 8 is a card strength, and you turn it on side, it's infinity. Having strength through infinity by doing your spiritual work, by working hard in the thing that your spirit tells you to do. All right, whoo, thank you, God. Oh, do you guys feel it? I just got to chill. Ooh, down the right side of my body, all the way down my spine. Like, just, it was a confirmation and a half. I feel like an angel touched me. Ooh, I feel it just now again. Thank you, angel. Archangel Gabriel, did you just touch me on my right shoulder? He's like, yeah, I did. Hell yeah. I mean, heaven, yeah. All right. When the Eight of Swords appears, you might be holding yourself back because you fear moving into the future, or because you're getting wary of getting hurt by a new situation, or maybe just no reason at all. So think through what you're afraid of. The truth of the situations are probably much less frightening than your mind is making it out to be. So if you start having fears about the future, let it go, baby, because it's all so good. Our future's so bright, we gotta wear shades, right? Remember from the 80s? It says, should I read that one? Okay. Spirituality, it says, know that you have all the answers that you need inside you already. Time spent in quiet, solitude, meditation will be helpful. If you still need direction, though, ask Spirit, ask the universe, ask Prime Creator for signs and signals. Ask Archangel Gabriel, because he does that. That's what he does. That's what he does. He gives us signs and symbols all day long, right? So these can be as subtle as repeatedly seeing a phrase, or hearing a song, or a number, or a cloud in the sky. You keep seeing those symbols. I was seeing XOXO in the air. I kept saying it. It's like, what's Gossip Girl sending me smoke signals over here? XOXO. No, God is telling me he loves me. Hugs and kisses. He's saying hugs and kisses are coming my way, right? And I feel it too. I do feel it. And I feel like a relationship is going to bloom in my life very soon. So I think it's wonderful. All right. So the signs, okay, you're not going to be kept down unless you allow yourself to be kept down. So at this point, stop clipping your wings, baby. Fly free. Fly and be free, because that's where you're going to go. With your spiritual hard work, your financial hard work, you're resolving the stuff that you needed to resolve. A lot of you have gone through some hard crap lately relating to just not really working it out with people, like kind of that, like think of two rams ramming their horns, locking their horns, trying to be the top ram, and meanwhile, like, the sheep they're fighting over just says, screw you guys, I don't like violence, and walking away, Be the sheep, don't be the rams. Don't be fighting against it. Just be like, dude, what, I'm walking away. I don't need that crap. Bye. Alright, it's a lesbian sheep, but okay. Super weird analogy that just came to my head right now. This is the sheep's like, screw that. I'm gonna go get love and kisses somewhere else. Ooh. My phone made a sound it's never made. Did you guys hear that? What the hell? Whoa. It said card of the day, 9 of Pentacles. In the middle of the reading, 9 of Pentacles comes up. It says prosperity, good fortune, protection, self-mastery. I'm getting ready, guys, to read. See, like, the card of the day comes up, but it never just automatically comes up like that. I am blown away. I am freaking out, actually, because, wait a minute. Yeah, this is weird. This is such a trip. Okay, so this came up from a different tarot app I haven't used in a very long while. It came from a whole nother, like the Galaxy Tarot. So it says, so as I'm getting ready to read the final one, it says 9 of Pentacles, prosperity, good fortune, protection, self-mastery. Oh, wait, but that's something else, because it's set up like the one that we normally go over, so, well, we've been going over today. Okay, it says you're going to feel spiritual peace and happiness. Your self-esteem is possibly higher than it's ever been. So I just said that, right? But why does it say card of the day? See, that's weird. On all these other ones, it didn't say card of the day. Did we even have the 9 of Pentacles? No, right? Or yes? No, we did. That was how we feel about ourselves. It just suddenly came up as the card of today. Oh, I am blown away. And it's not even on here. I didn't accidentally push anything. Did you hear that sound? It's never made that sound. I am freaking out. I love when wild shit happens on my show. Okay. All right. We have the enthusiastic queen. We've had her before. We love her. Reina Entusiasta. And it says, Chinchai Kamak Huarmin. That's the Incan word for enthusiastic queen, or the Queen of Wands. That is our final outcome. 6 months from now, for some of you, up to 7 months from now. 23, prime number, really good number in the universe. You see it more often than any other number, according to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Sagittarius, that might mean travel. And I think this is a hey. H-E-A-H. Not H-E-Y. Hey. I think it's like a pay hey, or anyway, that has a direct reference to God and a house of God. So is that true, God? Yeah. Okay, so it's Bethlehem. Yeah, hey, it is a hey. It's in the center of the word Bethlehem, which means house of bread. Did you guys know that? Bethlehem means house of bread. Pretty cool, right? All right, so Reina Enthusiasta, Queen of Wands. Here we go. Ambition, popularity, passion, vivacity, independence. That's what's coming our way, guys. Okay, so this is the most fertile, metaphorical and literal, and feminine womanly energies in the tarot deck. In a reading, like all court cards, she can signify a literal person, or in our lives, female, or most often with hair tending towards lighter shades of spectrum. This queen will bring us good energy, baby. And this is a very positive sign to receive. I'm checking it again. This is our final outcome of this whole reading, okay? So this is very good news. Yay. You are suddenly likely to be very spiritually hungry with the Queen of Wands. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't get carried away thinking you've suddenly found the total answer. Obviously, you can never find the total answer. We're all pieces of the puzzle, and we can't connect with absolutely everybody. Seriously, I'm like blown away that came up on my car. I'm like freaking out that happened. So it says, okay, it won't be the total answer you've been looking for your entire life. You know, so don't go and sell everything you own to join a spiritual group in another country. Although if you want to come to Ecuador, let me know. I know how to get the visas. I have somebody who knows everything that there is to know, and he's not as much as the lawyers, and he charges a fair price, I think. But anyway, but don't just sell everything and move on, you know, immediately. Take your time, read, reflect, talk to lots and lots of people before making your huge life changes. Your exploration is admirable. Crossing over into huge life-changing decisions without full consideration, though, might not be as healthy. So be careful with spending too much money. If you do become financially independent suddenly, that could be something to look out for. But overall, it's very positive, very enthusiastic, very good indeed. So, you know, keep your wits about you, keep your spiritual discernment, and everything will be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Everything is okay. In spite of it's the green cosmic rays. Yuck, yuck. That's temporary. But this reading is for the next 6 months. It's, you know, starting now and for the next 6 months. So that is your December reading for Tarot Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed this reading very much. Today was very cool. It flowed so much more time creative than usual. And I loved it. I'm so grateful. Probably because I made sure all my chakras are open. You know, so keep doing it. Keep going. Keep opening your chakras, cleansing your aura, taking in the positive vibrations of the universe and of the weather around you, and the sunlight and the rain and the fog, even if it's weird. Because you're going to get better insights constantly. It's all around you. Everything's getting better and better. Follow your gut instincts and your hunches. Use your muscle testing and your pendulums if you need answers. I still haven't done a pendulum episode. I will. It's coming, I promise. I just don't know when. Soon. God says soon. All right. I always ask God what to do for the day, and you know, so we're kind of working as a team. I want to be a dynamic duo with God, and so that's why I do the things that I do. I don't really pick it. God does. So, all right. That's it, guys. That's all I gotta say about that. I do want to have your spiritual miracle stories that happen around the holidays, especially when it concerns Santa Claus, Kris Kringle, Father Christmas, Père Noël, please. Or I should say, merci beaucoup in advance for your stories. Send them to metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. If you want a tarot reading, let me know. I'm still backed up. I've got a few people to take care of before I take on new clients, but send me a message at metaphysicalsoulspeak because you're going to be in the queue. And that's spelled Q-U-E-U-E. Q-U-E-U-E. All right, yay for ADHD and being sick. Yay! I'm not on medicine for anything except like the occasional allergy pill and Vicks Vapor Rub, which, is a cure for everything except, mental illness. I've been watching a lot of Comedy Central. Laughter is the best medicine, and so that is my medicine, is laughing a lot. It's been like 2 weeks of Comedy Central. My son's sick and now me being sick. We've been like, laughter is the best medicining ourselves for 2 weeks now. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm done for the night. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being on the spiritual journey and for trusting me to deliver your Tarot Tuesday message for December. Signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until tomorrow, guys. Peace. Do you ever wish you could look into the next chapter in your book of life and see what's coming next? What does the universe have in store for you? I can help you with that. I will give you a Celtic Cross reading, which is 10 cards, or you can ask me 3 questions, and I use 3 cards per question. So that's 9 cards, or I can channel your higher guidance, or maybe God directly for you. Maybe you want to talk to your dear departed Aunt Edna, because maybe you have a few questions and she was the smartest person you knew. If your deceased relatives are available or your ascended masters, I can channel them for you personally. Let me have 1 hour to show you the future in your next chapter of your book of life. Readings are $75, and it takes me an hour to an hour and a half to complete. And for this price, you will also be hooked up to the healing grid around the planet for free, which means yours truly, me, I will be giving you Reiki 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. All you have to do is let me know. metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com, and we will explore your future together.